Hi there, my name is Taizora Tanji. I'll be presenting my competitive edge assignment based on the article Competitive Advantage Through Innovation, the Case of Nespresso. The table of contents include 1. The description of the business, 2. A rationale for needed improvements, 3. Detail of the competitive advantage proposed, and 4. The references. So just starting as to how was this Nespresso invented? It was invented in 1970 by a Swiss engineer and Nestlé employee Eric Favre, who patented it under the Nespresso name 6 years later. When the company first launched in 1986 in the Swiss market, it proved to be a failure. The capsules underwent many changes and improvements until it became profitable for the first time in 1991. Today, Nespresso is part of the Nestlé Group and is positioned in the premium portioned coffee segment. Its brand is recognized worldwide as the producer of high-quality coffee capsules and machines. I thought it was interesting to add a little bit of the food and beverage industry background. So nowadays, there is a 7.3% annual growth rate based, according to research and markets. However, before there was a 3% modest growth rate with influential retailers, low customer loyalty, low profit margins, and frequent mass market sales. In 2000, even though with all these barriers, Nespresso was able to sell a pound of espresso for $91 per pound, and compared to Lavazza, a premium brand that charged $8.51 per pound. That is 970% more. So what was that Nespresso had to do in order to achieve these results? So first of all, I will start with area. What is a type of innovation? So they check product, process, and service. Product because coffee was not sold in capsules before. Process because capsules manufacturing process and the espresso brewing process was different now. The service because it was a very outstanding service. Over 70% of the 9,500 Nespresso staff worked directly with customer contact. Customer would not even hear 3 times the ring, and the customer service would already be talking with them. Change. There is a debate between if it was an incremental change or a radical change, but the fact is that now Nespresso was brought in a change from the previous way of doing coffee and now doing coffee with a technical equipment. And this was new to the company and to the world. And just going back to trigger, how is no innovation induced? So the innovation was induced by a push. A pull innovation induced is when there is already a need and then somebody launches a product. Whereas for Nespresso, there was already coffee in the world. So they had to, Jean-Paul Gaillard mentioned that market research was done by his predecessors, and they found that there was no market for Nespresso. So they had to teach clients to need this product, which is called this way of selling is called innovation induced as in a push trigger way. And how did they do that? With a bait and hook model. The company offered a free and cheap basic product. So they offer the machine for cheap. The customer would give a low amount of money for this cheap basic product. And the company would offer a refill or a complementary product for a high value price. And the customer will pay that. And this is how the money made profit. A detail of the competitive advantage proposed. The framework used by Nespresso was the VRIO framework, which stands for Value, Rarity, Imitability, and Organization. The VRIO framework identifies resources and capabilities, exploits opportunities, or neutralizes external threats. It's not mentioned in the four letters, but high leadership of competency is also very important. To be able to communicate, a leader has to be able to communicate clearly and through the company's vision. This is a little bit more about the four letters, but let's take a look at how this looks like through a Nespresso perspective. In terms of value, um, the coffee itself was just a commodity. So Nespresso um, created a value to it. So now um, it wasn't just about drinking a coffee, it was the experience of drinking a coffee. So there is value added to it. In terms of rarity, there was no coffee sold on this capsule um, format. So this was rare. And also the way they were marketing the product was very rare. All about this experience, as if you're drinking coffee in Italy. So there was a lot more on the marketing that it was not available in the other coffee brands. And imperfectly imitable, the customer service, as mentioned in previous slides, was outstanding. And that made Nespresso to get a really good reputation. And then organization specific is basically when the organization is able to prove from a long-term perspective that is sustainable, that the company is able to sustain on this model, which Nespresso definitely did. And all of these four letters creates the competitive advantage. These are the references. Thank you for listening.